Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Book of Love podcast with your matchmaker and dating coach, Geneva Dickey. So I'm really excited about our host today. As you can tell by the title, we are going to talk about styling again, but this time it's with the lovely Renee. Now, we actually sat down a couple weeks back and we were organizing a whole styling session for JE Matchmaking, and it's really important to have a stylist in a matchmaking company. And if you saw my outfit right now, you'd realize that I have absolutely no idea how to style, and so I have to work with professionals. And I've been following Renee for a really long time. I love her Instagram and I love her style, and so I reached out to her and I wanted to sit down with her and just discuss, first of all, bringing her on the podcast. This is the original reason why I reached out to her. But then as we sat down and talked and clicked and realized that our personalities actually jive really well together, I did want to have her on as an associate with the team. And so we sat down and we negotiated, and we actually have her now as a consultant personal stylist with JE Matchmaking. So if you wanted to go out with 2 hours with Renee, wherever it is that you want to go, we actually have her at an insane rate, which, you guys, this is not going to last forever. So it's $300 to go out with her for 2 hours. And you can just basically use all of her amazing styling options. So this is for both men and women. And you can go to my website at www.jematchmaking.com. You can go to services and the styling session is there. Now, we have 2 stylists, so if you want Renee, make sure that you send an email saying that you want to go out with Renee, and we will organize all the timings and make sure that that is all completely set up for you. But if you can just see her now, every time I see her, she is absolute perfection. Her style is so on point. And as the guest that was leaving said, her shoes have sex. Is that what she said?
Yeah, they have had sex. No.
So the shoes are beyond. So thank you so much, Renee, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Geneva.
So you are the owner-operator of The Style Coach. So that's how people can find you on Instagram, is The Style Coach. And you are a personal stylist. Is that correct?
That's right. People call me a personal stylist, an image consultant, a wardrobe stylist, a style coach. So yeah, that's what I do.
So tell us about you. Like, what first got you into fashion, and how did it become such a passion of yours enough that you would start a business that revolves around it?
My mother and my grandmother are fashionistas. So I grew up with very stylish women. My mother always, dressed her best and always put her best self forward when she went to work in the morning. On the weekends, she would bake muffins on Saturday mornings, dressed to the nines like she's going to a gala or something. Her makeup was always on. Now, even during COVID, like I went to visit finally when the borders opened. She's in New Brunswick, and she was dressed to the nines one day at 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Nothing, dear, just making muffins for your father.
Now, what does the dress to the nines look like for your grandmother and your mother? Like, what does that look like?
Mom always has her makeup on. Her hair is always done, which is simple, actually, because she's got straight hair just like I do. So you wake up looking like I do now with my hair. I'm kind of lucky that way.
Oh, you woke up this way, Renee?
Well, I might have brushed it.
Because I did not wake up this way.
And she always dressed for her body type. So everything she owns in her wardrobe actually is very flattering on her. So it doesn't really matter what she chooses out of her wardrobe. The color palette's right because she's a redhead, so she's got all those great colors going for her, and the shape was always right. And she always wore heels or little heels or matching shoes, and she's a purse lover. I mean, my God, I was there on the weekend and I counted up to maybe 60 purses and I stopped.
Oh my gosh.
And it's the same with the shoes. Like, she's just, she likes her accessories, and my grandmother's the same way. Like, she always, still now, my grandmother's 93, I do believe. Mm-hmm. And she still lives at home with her, like in her own home. And she, every time we walk in there, she's got that purple leopard shirt and those nice, dress pants and matching shoes. And heaven forbid if we catch her in her PJs, like she's ready to go at 8:30. Like, nobody walks in there without her all dressed up. So yeah, I was
it's
really
really important though.
Yeah.
It's important for like your mental health. It's important. I remember through lockdown, I mean, I was jumping on all kinds of video calls and things like that, but I would get fully done up. And it was for my mental health to make it through lockdown.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course. And I think what a lot of us did, and I'll I'll admit to that. I would wear the dress and then my PJ bottoms underneath the dress. Like, how many of you have actually done that on a Zoom call? I did.
I have never done that.
Really?
No.
Well, good for you.
I have always worn. You're like, shut up. No, I
have
never
sexy
did
shoes.
that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's funny. So, okay. So I do kind of want to get into everything with you because a lot of the thing that people don't realize, I mean, as a Nova Scotia matchmaker, I feel like it's different than if I were to be a matchmaker in Toronto or LA. So whenever I have a consultation, unfortunately, whenever anybody walks into the room, I first do a whole review of them just quickly. Like, it's really quick. It's like a millisecond. And I just make my first impression of that person. And it kind of blows my mind, especially here in Nova Scotia, what some people will wear to their matchmaking consultation. Because I'm thinking, you understand that I'm going to be matching you with your future partners. So it's not something that's casual. It's not something that is laid back. Like, I will be, matching you based on how you present yourself, your confidence, and, style has a lot to do with that. So can you talk a little bit as like how first impressions are everything? And have you experienced times when people have taken you more seriously earlier on based on a style, or if you had kind of like an off day? Tell me a little bit about what styling means to you and your confidence and the first impressions you want to give people.
Well, I definitely understand firsthand that first impressions matter. I did in my young 20s when I was working as a dental assistant. I had a full paycheck in my pocket and I was ready to go buy a leather love seat. And when I walked into this certain specific store, which I will not say,
was it nothing fancy furniture?
No, well, it's a known company in Moncton, New Brunswick. And let's just say I've never been back in 25 years because of that experience. And what happened is that I went after work. I was wearing, my gym clothes probably, or either my uniform. I was in dental back then. And I walked in there and he didn't take me seriously. It was an older fella. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me, I was 20, probably looked like I was 12. And he didn't take me seriously. When I asked him about a specific couch where I had to go and find him because nobody was offering me any help, he said, "Which one, dear?" And then I pointed it out, and he goes, "Oh, let's just look at another one. That one's too expensive for you."
Really?
Yeah. So that was really upsetting to me because I wanted that couch. I've been coming in and looking at that couch. I really wanted it. So
he pretty womaned you.
Yeah.
With a couch.
And I totally pretty woman him because I went back home and I got dressed up. I did. And then I remember back then I was wearing a little black skirt. I had my high boots that were, very fashionable back then, and my little beret because I'm a little French girl. And I walked in there with my leather jacket and he came right up to me and goes, "Oh, hey, can I help you?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I was in earlier. I'd like to speak to that gentleman over there. Maybe he can help me out."
You probably overbought too, just to spite.
I paid cash for the $2,000 leather couch, and he just literally whatever. I just never went back because people do judge. The moral of the story is people do judge when they see you for the first time. So they'll see what you feel like and what you think of yourself will portray through your style as well as your attitude. So it's important to put it all together.
Absolutely. Now, I know when we have like a well-coordinated outfit that is fashionable and it fits well and it's also comfortable. Now, you did mention styling for your body, which was really important for your mother. Now, that is something like I have a really unique body type. I think everybody has a unique body type actually, but there's a lot of clothing out there that just doesn't suit my body. So there's a lot of times where friends will go into a store and they can get something that's fashionable or they can get something off the rack because it just looks great on them. But if something fits me, I'm more likely to get it. I rarely get the things that I want to get because it doesn't fit me. But if it does fit me properly, I'm going to get it. So my style is actually a little bit all over the place. I am going to use you, by the way. But my styling is all over the place for fitting for my body. So tell me a little bit about what that means to you and what people can do to assist them in fitting for their body.
It's all about knowing your body type. I mean, when you were younger, maybe you were an hourglass, and maybe in your 30s after the kids, you turned into more rectangle shape, and then maybe later in your 50s and 60s, you're more in an apple shape. So our bodies as women especially, we change a lot, and it's knowing your body type. So that means there's specific style of clothing that will flatter your body better. So example, somebody who has more of a pillar or more of a rectangle shape, they should stay away from tuniques or like squarish kind of shirts, because it makes them look like a football player.
Yes.
And same thing with women who have like J-Lo and Beyonce. You think they're curvy, but they're actually a pear shape. They have more hips than they have shoulders, so they have to wear maybe shoulder pads or more like accentuate the shoulders more to really give that hourglass look.
Oh, wow.
Which is what we try to do when we style women. We try to get everybody to kind of look like an hourglass, which is the basic look for a woman. So depending whatever shape you are, we can cheat and really give a certain illusion with clothes. So it's really knowing what to stay away from and what to shop for. And I'm a big believer in finding an awesome, kick-ass seamstress, because you don't want to not wear the styles that you like just because it doesn't fit properly. Sometimes, if the 80s and 90s are back, right? So the big boxy blazers are in, and they're not necessarily for you or for me. But if we love it, sometimes if you're going to go ahead and wear something that's in trend, like that's trendy and modern for today, then you might want to emphasize on your makeup that day, or really emphasize on your hair, and wear those funky shoes because you want to bring the attention elsewhere. So that's another way that you can style yourself.
I remember Zara's when I was in Calgary. I was making really good money. I was a geomatics professional, and that's when I was first introduced to blazers. And Zara's blazers in 2009 were so beautiful. They were structured. They had these little tails on them. And now all the blazers are these big boxes.
Yeah.
Like, how sad is that? Do you have any recommendations for people that if they had a fashion that they really loved, whether it was a decade ago or what have you, to kind of keep up with that? Is it still like a tailoring experience, or what is it?
Well, it's like when you talk about those blazers, they were in 2009.
You're right.
Now, good luck finding them now. A lot of times you can find them at consignment stores. So people do revamp their closets a lot for different reasons. And that's where you would find something like that. It's like a gem, right?
Yeah.
And but again, if you get it tailored or customized for you. But that's what's really difficult with style. It's that when something comes out and it's trendy, it's usually trendy for 1 to 2, 3 years. And I went through 3 years one time without shopping for myself because nothing would fit my body properly. It was really difficult, but I used my seamstress a lot that year.
Yeah.
But
when the fashion changed, and you're like,
right.
okay, well.
But those are classic pieces that you can keep for a long time. So the smart thing to do is to buy colors that will never really go out of style.
Okay.
So, black and white or navy and, those kind of solid colors that will last longer. And then you can maybe revamp your outfit with more of a modern look with other things. So those pieces, you want to try to grab the classic pieces, and so you can have them a long time.
I have a question for you, actually, that this is fascinating. I'm really loving this conversation. So as a dating coach, it's really hard for me when I meet somebody and they talk to me about their dating experience to not dating coach mindset them. You're a fashion professional. You're almost a fashion expert, basically. When you meet somebody, do you do like a head to toe of their fashion and then kind of like make a perception of them? Like, what are your thoughts when you meet somebody that has horrible fashion, or they're, what are your thoughts with that?
You mean a client that comes to me, or just a person in general?
Just a person that you meet in general.
Well, to be honest, and people might not believe this, but it's true. I was brought up in a home where you don't judge people, and you treat your neighbor like you would treat your family, and or strangers as well. So to be honest, when I meet somebody, I don't do that. I don't turn it on unless somebody asks me. And even with clients, like even when I consult with a client for the first time, I don't usually turn it on and start dissecting their style until they ask me to do so.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's an invasion of who they are and their privacy. I don't want to judge them because I know better. I was judged as a kid. I was bullied as a kid because of what I looked like. I was,
How could you be bullied?
well, because I didn't look like I do now.
She's stunning, you guys. I don't know if you've looked at
blossomed.
the cover art, but it's like, who would bully you?
I was a chubby kid, and I was shy, and I was picked on a lot, right? So, and back then I was like, going to elementary school. That was in the 80s. So, there wasn't a lot of like bigger kids back then. Everybody was like skinny and just like, I don't know. And I developed early too. So I was teased a lot by boys, and now I know it's because they liked me, but they beat the shit out of me. Seriously. Like they really did. Yes, they did.
I developed early too, and that just means that I dated everybody in grade 7.
No, that was not my life at all. My life became glamorous, like maybe in my late 20s.
Oh, really? Yeah. I did. I had all the boyfriends. I went from Lori to James to all these. I just skipped among. Oh yeah. Oh, to develop early. What a good lifestyle that is.
I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, maybe it's a curse for others.
It is. It is a curse for others. So tell us a little bit about some of your clients' journeys, or even just kind of like your favorite clients. So I know that when my wardrobe is up to date and I have the time and the money to invest in it, that I just feel so great, and it builds every part of my life, my business, my confidence, all of it. And so do you have any story in particular from a client that really jumps out for you of like, wow, I feel like that was a really big...
I have a few.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, who to choose?
Who to choose?
I don't know. I remember there was this man that called me over the phone, and he only wanted a consultation. And usually I don't offer just consultations and style assessments, which a style assessment is, a document of like 15 to 20 pages that I will create specifically for you on how to dress your body type, your color palette, how to put outfits together and all, and where to shop and all those things. Wait.
So you said that's like something you put together?
It's a style assessment is a basic service that I offer, but it's usually together in a package with like a shopping session or a wardrobe session. Mm-hmm. But this man specifically only wanted the style assessment. And I was like, I don't know. Because, what the interpretation of what I'm trying to say on paper and what I'm trying to show on paper is that what that person is going to understand. I don't want them to, buy this outfit that I think is not at all what I was trying to express. And then they're telling everybody, the style coach did this. Oh, no, the style coach did not say that.
Yeah.
So I kind of like really want to meet up with them and do, a closet revamp or a shopping session along with that. So anyway, long story short, he just wanted the style assessment, and I said, fine. Okay. So send me some photos through email, and, I'll do that for you. So when he sent me the photos, I was shocked because his voice didn't match what I was seeing on the photo. He looked very, he looked older. He looked tired. He looked outdated, basically is what it was.
Yeah.
And so then when I did talk to him, he's the CEO of a company. He was very confident, and it just didn't match. Mm-hmm. So when I got together with him after, I figured, well, I'm going to see this guy in person and explain to him what I am trying to say here, because I was going to tell him to shave his head completely because he was holding on to, some hair there.
Oh, that he was, like you're giving hair advice and everything. Okay.
Yeah. And then I was going to recommend him to grow a beard. So
really?
Yes, because, the scruffs and the beards are in now for the last 5 years.
A nice bald head with like a really well-grown beard.
Yeah,
totally.
That to me was sexy. And instead of the kind of like looking thing.
Did you say Friar Tuck?
Is it Friar Tuck?
No, yeah, that's what you said. Yeah,
Is
Friar
it Friar
Tuck.
Tuck? Is that
Yeah.
who it is
Yeah.
from Robin Hood? See, the
She's French, everybody.
I'm French. I'm trying here.
See, I mess up words and I'm super English. So, like, you're a good girl. You're actually speaking better than I do.
Thank God. But anyway, so I met up with him, and I was scared to death. I thought I was going to really hurt his feelings to, shave his head. And the minute I said that, I said, okay, so shave your head and grow a beard. And then he looked at me with these big eyes, and then I went, oh, here we go. And then he said, grow a beard, but it'll be white. So I was like, thank God. Okay. So that was cute. I said, no. And he has really like awesome features. His eyebrows are dark and beautiful eyes. And he's really a good looking man. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't coming out through his style. So I said, no, you're going to get the Sean Connery look. I'm telling you, you're going to look hot. And 3 months later, sometimes I don't hear back from them. So 3 months later, he called me for a fall follow-up and to go shopping with him this time. And when I went to his home to look at the wardrobe before I went out with him, he opened the door and I was like, who is this man?
No way.
He totally followed everything, all my recommendations and my suggestions. He went to Montreal shopping and he brought his style assessment with him. And the lady at Simon's was trying to tell him what to buy. He's like, no, my stylist said this. And he was showing her all the pictures. And he got the wardrobe I told him to get. And he told me it changed his life. Within 2 months, he got a new girlfriend, and he had been divorced for a long time and single for a long time. And it changed his life. He's still with her. It's been 5 years. So I'm excited about that. That's one of the really good ones.
That's one of the things I want to communicate is that these awesome gentlemen, and they've accomplished so much in their life. They come into a matchmaker and the pictures that they have are just dated. Everything about like their outfits are dated. Dated is a great way to describe it. And I try to promote some sort of styling, some sort of photo shoot. But they're hesitant. And it's very interesting. I mean, you said that when he was growing his beard, his biggest concern was the fact that it was white.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's these interesting, I don't want to say insecurities, but thoughts that go on.
And I mean, of course, he's in his 50s, I think now. And
when he didn't have a beard, it wasn't white.
His hair was.
Yeah.
What's the difference? But he looks amazing. His girlfriend tells him now, she looks at pictures in the past and she's like, who is this guy? I would have never went out with this guy. Who is this? Wearing a brown shirt and brown pants. And, he just looks so amazing. He is now looking the part of who he is with his personality and also with his business. He revamped his whole website and he's the boss. He looks like the boss. He looks amazing.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, what do you think is holding them back? Like if they were to come into a matchmaker and I'm like, okay, let's get you into a stylist, and they say no and they just want to go through the matchmaking. And what do you think is the main thing that's holding gentlemen, especially older gentlemen, back from kind of moving into that newer, more updated style?
I think, I don't know specifically because I'm not a gentleman.
Yeah.
But I would think it's because they've been to, and I know for women it's the same thing. Because I had a lady that the same thing happened. They were told so many times how beautiful or good looking they looked in a specific outfit or with a specific haircut. And they tend to hold on to that. Because I revamped one of my friend's wardrobe. And the same thing, it was this one shirt. It was the before picture shirt. We took a before picture and she was wearing that shirt. And then we did a whole wardrobe revamp and she looked amazing. She looked amazing before, but it just bumped everything up and it just changed like her figure and everything. And then I saw her 3 months later to go shopping again and she's wearing the same shirt. Yeah. And I was like, why? Like, you're my friend. You need to tell me because I don't know what to do with my clients if this happens. Like, this just happened. Yeah. And she goes, well, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm still in transition. And then she said, I really like that shirt. Like, it's my best shirt because everybody told me how great I looked in that shirt. Yeah. But it didn't even fit her anymore. And I said, well, it used to be your great shirt, but now you have a better shirt. Yeah. And we did a photo shoot at the time too, but the photos only came in later. So when she saw the photos, she called me. She goes, Renee, the shirt's in a bag and it's on its way to Value Village right now. Oh, snap. So she, you don't really, people tend to just get used to looking at themselves in the mirror. Yeah. And they just they don't really look further than their face.
Yeah.
I think, and they just get stuck in an old trend that they loved and that that made them feel good at the time, but they don't realize right now that it's either outdated or it's not fitting their body properly because their body changed. Mm-hmm. So it's just, they just need a fresh eye to help guide them in the right direction now. Yeah. So it's to be open. It's to be open to suggestions and not to be afraid. I mean, I've had clients tell me that they're just petrified to meet me. They don't know what to wear when I go meet with them. But I'm just a regular girl too. I used to be bullied. I wasn't always a pretty girl, and I just use what I've got to my best advantage. And wear sexy shoes.
The shoes have a lot of sex. Okay, so I want to go into a little bit about really great date outfits. So on the McGuire episode, we talked about gentlemen. So for this one, you're welcome to talk about gentlemen if anything kind of clicks in your head, but I really want to kind of focus on women's styles. Now, I know for myself, styling in the summer for a summer patio date on a really hot day is hard because I have the thighs and I have, the feet that I'm not sure what shoes to wear. So tell everybody, if they were to go on a nice summer date and it's on a patio and it's a really hot day, what's a great outfit choice?
Well, I would definitely go for a dress. There's so many dresses, different styles. There's maxi dresses that are longer if you want to hide your legs. There are shorter ones if you really want to show off your legs. You don't want to go too short because you don't want to show off anything else.
Just your legs, ladies.
Just your legs. And but there's so many different prints and colors and styles, and they're so fun and they're light and they're easy. You just put on the dress and you go. You know what I mean? You don't really have to think about anything else, really, if you have a great dress. That would be my go-to outfit for a patio date because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy, and there's different styles to fit your body type. So every woman out there can find a dress that will suit them. And let's face it, if you're going on a date, men are very visual, and you're giving the best of yourself right there and then, and they're going to be thinking about you when you leave because they're going to remember you in that dress, So.
Yeah. One thing that I want to make a note just as a dating coach and matchmaker is that I do find that, for example, when women are taking pictures or women are just dressing up for a date, especially very independent, amazing women, they want to almost style themselves in a way where it would be a prequel of how they look on a daily basis. They almost want to downplay their features. They want to downplay their makeup. They want to downplay and be more casual, especially here in Halifax when on a date. And their mindset is, and they don't want to wear heels and all this kind of stuff. Their mindset is that they want him to know on the first date that this is very close to what I look like on a daily basis. I have a different mindset around that because I believe that we want to put our best foot forward, especially on a first date, because there is so much going on there. So what are your thoughts on the mindset of those women where they almost want to mute themselves so that they can give him an example of what she would look like normally?
Well, that's hard to answer because I don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way either. When I'm going on a date,
I like to dress up because it's fun and it makes you feel good, and But less is more. I do agree with that, but less is more in the sense that you don't want to wear the kitchen sink. Mm-hmm. You want to wear things that will balance together. So if you're going to wear a simple dress or a simple outfit, something that is just very casual, maybe you want to put a little bit more makeup on, and maybe you want to put a bracelet or a watch or a ring or a necklace with that, or maybe emphasize on your shoes. But if you're going to wear something that's actually bright and bold, then you want to not concentrate too much on the hair and maybe not wear as much makeup, but you do have to balance your style because you don't want to look gray from head to toe. Yes. It's kind of like that feeling when you see somebody that's dressed a certain way and that's there's no balance. It just looks the same from head to toe, and that tends to be bland, which is fine when you're in a relationship because when that person loves you, they love you in every possible way, but you want to put your best self forward. So if you're going to an interview
Exactly.
What would you wear? If you're, this is your life partner possibly that you're going to meet. So you want to put your best self forward. I mean, what if they didn't? What if that person just came with I know it's from the inside out, but let's face it, we're human, and what we see first is what will stick in your mind. So, if that person has like raunchy teeth or something because they haven't had a cleaning in like 5 years, or because or if they haven't washed their face in the morning and you see the crusties in their eyes, or if they're just rolling out of bed and their hair looks like a bird's nest, or if like their clothes aren't ironed, or at least like shake your clothes, like put a little effort into it. So you're going to get what you put out. So, the people that don't understand that, then, maybe they want somebody that, rolls out of bed too.
I still believe in putting your best foot forward.
Yeah. Well, what's the point of playing games? Like, what do you want? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if you're going for that job, then dress for the job.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing when you're going out on a date. It depends like what kind of person you are. If you're like a hippie and you want that John Lennon kind of look, then fine, then dress like that, and you'll attract that. But
that's a very good point. So so another one of my favorite dates is kind of like a winter date, and I love dates that are just basically jolted, full of romance. So evenings are my favorite. Cocktail dates. Oh, I know. And cocktails, and you're going to a nicer kind of like spot, and maybe sitting at a bar. I actually prefer sitting at a bar on a date because you get to face each other, but each other isn't our main entertainment. We get to watch the bartender. We get to kind of like observe the rest of the room. So I really love sitting at a bar on a first date, but in more like of a classier type of setting. So what do you recommend for that kind of date?
For a woman to wear, you mean?
Yeah.
On that date? Well, I'm really all about dresses. For a woman, you want to impress the guy on the first date. I mean, just go all out and buy a nice dress because you want to show off your features. If you have great legs, show them off. If you don't, then wear, nice jeans or nice dress pants with maybe a low-cut shirt. Like just, you don't want to show skin everywhere. But if you're covering the bottom, maybe show a little bit more on the top, some arms or some shoulders or a little bit of cleavage. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and, maybe pull your hair back. If you're wearing, don't wear a turtleneck.
Oh, wow, yeah.
If you're wearing something like a turtleneck and long pants, then maybe you'll want to wear your hair back in a bun, or, show your neck, show your ears. Like those are, spots that men like to look at, and not just your eyes and not just your boobs, ladies. They want to see your neck. They want to see your arms. They want to see your legs. Like, show that off. So, I mean, I'll just have to take you shopping and show you what you can wear.
Yes, you guys, if you want to go shopping with her, you know where to go. See, I'm all about my hair.
Yeah.
Like my hair is, my 3-barrel crimper died 2 days ago.
Oh my God.
I'm like, nobody's going to recognize me. So now I'm just wearing like bohemian curls. What am I thinking?
It's gorgeous, though.
You're a sweetheart.
I love it. I have to work really hard to get that look.
Oh, I can imagine. But I would die for pin straight hair. I would die for your hair. Like long,
we
dark
always
curtains.
Want what we don't have.
It's so true.
So we have to really embrace what we do.
It's true.
And admire other people's stuff.
But I always recommend wearing your hair down on a first date because I mean, my hair is I am almost my identity. So I always recommend wearing a hair down. But I remember I wore my hair up yesterday and I just felt like super sexy and kind of like it was up in a nice big bun. And I don't know, it was like a different kind of feel.
It depends where you're going. I mean, you have to dress for the location and you have to dress also according to the person you're going out with.
Yes.
Whether it's a friend or it's a date, you got to really kind of know their style a little bit, especially where you're going. I mean, if you're going to Bicycle Thief, you want to wear something a little sexier, maybe more dressed up, maybe put some lipstick on that day.
Yeah.
But if you're going somewhere else for coffee or just a stroll, in the park or anything like that, then of course you're going to dress it down. But you just need to dress the part, dressed according to the date.
Yeah. Now, for something more active and fun, I remember I was going on a second date and it was a hiking date. And I'm like, God almighty, do I have anything that would
Can I wear these heels?
I know.
No.
I live life in my heels. I was actually going through my Rolodex of sneakers, and it's like there's two things on my Rolodex because I have two pairs of sneakers, and I'm like, I have no idea what to wear. So like for a fun active date, so something where you're kind of moving, not necessarily hiking, but maybe like pool or going to mini putt or going to an arcade, something where you're going to be moving a lot. Like what's kind of a great idea for that?
I'm into lately I'm into I never wore solid colors. I'm always into prints and bold colors, and now I'm wearing a lot of black. So
Me too. I'm living for black.
I know, and I like that, like a black V-neck or a white V-neck shirt with maybe like black jeans and little white like Adidas sneakers, flats, and maybe like a cool little leather jacket, like something like that. That's totally in right now, right? Depending on your age as well. I mean, you have to dress according to your age. Sometimes you can get away with some things, but it's really the way you put it all together. But flats are really sweet too. You can get really nice flats, especially like when you're 30 and over. You want to start shopping in places like Naturalizer, believe it or not, or in the Bay. I love those two stores because they have nice prints now, and they also have just that little wedge or that little heel that we need to just like to change and correct that our posture to make us look a little bit sexier when we're walking or standing. Those flat ballerina shoes, like they're for kids, like they're for teenagers. They're not for older women when you're trying to look professional or cute on a date.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
So for like people to come to me and go out with you for 2 hours, I mean, that's kind of like a very specialized service based on JE Matchmaking and the arrangement that you and I have. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what your other services offer, like with the styling coach? You had a really interesting thing in our meeting that you talked about that I think is unique to you. I'm not sure, but what did you call it? The lookbook?
The lookbook.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your services.
Well, I offer different services like closet revamps, personal shopping, lookbooks, which is where I come into your wardrobe and style your outfits together.
Oh, so your existing wardrobe.
Yeah, your
cool.
existing wardrobe. So the lookbook, what that is that it comes usually a style assessment, which is like a style guide that will help you in the future when you're not with me anymore. You're not going to panic because you're going to have the style guide that's going to help you in the future. And also the lookbook. What that is, it helps you after a shopping session or after a closet revamp. I will go into your wardrobe and style all your outfits together, your new items with your existing wardrobe, and create every single possible outfit that I can from your wardrobe.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
It is. I'm putting a top, a bottom, a shoe. I'm putting the jewelry, the purse, the scarf, the jacket, you name it. I'll do every complete outfit that I can, and I will take a photo of everyone.
It's like Clueless. The movie Clueless. You can go to your wardrobe,
right?
And like you've created all of. You can turn to.
Seen that in so long.
I know, you can turn to the book and just be like, "This is what I'm wearing today."
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Oh my gosh!
So you're actually wearing everything that's in your wardrobe. Not like 2 years later you're grabbing something in the right at the end of the wardrobe, right deep inside the closet, and you're like, oh, the price tag is still on, right? You forget to
There's
wear
no
it.
price tag left on my clothing.
A lot of people buy stuff and they don't wear it. They always go to the same 3 or 4 outfits, and they have a full wardrobe. So knowing how you put things together, it's great to go shopping with somebody, but when you get home, are you going to remember what she said or what he said? No, because they always call me in a panic 2 months later and they say, I'm still stuck. I still don't know what to do. So that's why I created these packages that are all at a discounted price. And that is so you can get the A to Z service so that you are confident and comfortable to continue in the future making wiser style choices without me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, like your social medias, and how they can get a hold of you just for like a full styling appointment with you?
Yes, they can reach me at thestylecoach.ca is my website. There's a direct email there to my form. And there's also Facebook and Instagram. And it's, again, The Style Coach. So, you can find me anywhere. I'm in Halifax at the moment. I've been here for 2 years, so I do style clients in the Maritimes, mostly Halifax, and a lot of people from Moncton are now coming to see me here. Not as much in 2020.
Business is tricky.
But let me tell you, I've had so many people contact me when the borders open and when everything opened up again. They're like, oh my God, you're the only thing that kept me through this. I was thinking, I just need another session with Renee. Some people told me that. I'm like, really? So that was really cute because they just everybody needed to feel good. Everybody felt so crappy and they just needed to, get out of their pajamas and their gym pants and get out there and get revamped.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you use. Leave a 5-star rating and please leave a review. Reviews are really important so that people that are viewing podcasts know that this is actually a worthwhile podcast to listen to. And share. So Renee shared some really amazing tips tonight on how to style for a date or just a really great mindset around fashion in general. And I know there's a lot of amazing men and women out there that could use a lot of these tips. So just a quick share will make a huge difference in somebody else's life. If you want to apply to go on a date with Renee, she is actually single. So please go to my website at www.jematchmaking.com. Go to the Book of Love podcast tab and apply for Date with Guest. Also, if you would like to be a guest on the Book of Love podcast, we are always looking for new, fresh ideas. Is there anything that you want to communicate to the dating community, no longer just in Halifax, but honestly, internationally and all around the world? Apply to be a guest on that website as well. And for a list of any books that we've mentioned so far, we have actually a book suggestion on our website. And just click read now and it'll take you to Amazon where you can purchase those books. We have a huge list of books in regards to dating, relationships, and just mindset and personal growth. This is very valuable because it's the books that we read and the education that we give ourselves where we see huge differences in our dating life. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at JE Matchmaking. Also, Patreon, if you search the Book of Love, we have a ton of amazing training videos that talk about all forms of dating. We're going to have training videos in regards to styling as well and what to wear on a first date. And this is Tier 2, an all-access Patreon page. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm so excited to open the Book of Love with all of you.